morning and welcome on this wonderfully sunny but windy Monday morning. I am here auf der Schmelz to do the preparation class for the Sportaufnahmeprüfung, which is the exam that you have to take if you want to study sports or sports and teachers education. And since it's the year of COVID, they have quite a detailed health and safety regulation program. For one, they require you to wear a mask whenever you go to a place. Then you also just train in the same group always. So it's like 10 people, the same 10 people that you always train with. Which is bad that you don't get to know more people, but it's good because if it's always the same people, then you kind of form a bond over those 1.5 weeks. You can then always, cheer each other up and motivate each other. And yeah, there are like 1.5 hour slots at one station. Then 15 minutes of break, then you go to the next station and to the next station. And there are always 3 stations each day. So it's not actually that long. It's not a full day thing as I expected. It's more or less half the day. But yeah, it's gotta be interesting. I will keep you updated after each of the stations. Ooh, this is exciting. They even give you masks at the entry, but I already had one. And the plan. But I feel so old, like the people here are 10 years younger than me. Shit. I mean, what am I doing with my life? I'm just doing this for fun. You know what I would like to do with that wind? Play frisbee. That would be fun. I mean, I haven't played frisbee in so long. And I'm so enthusiastic being on the sports field, like looking around with all that sports stuff around me. I just didn't do sports in way too long. And so I'm super motivated right now. I'm like super enthusiastic. Not so much about the exam or the preparation, but just to do some sports, right? Just to do something with people again. Man, I was missing this. I'm gonna go in there because that's the first area where I have to be. We start with ball games, basketball and volleyball. Alright, that was the first 1.5 hour session. There are more than 10 people. If I said 10 people, there are like 28 in our silver group. First session we did basketball and volleyball. At the exam you play, but it's like a super simple form of playing. It's like 3 versus 3, and I feel very confident in those games at least. In volleyball you only do bridging and buggering. I don't know the English terms for that. So it's just that and that. There's no smashing. And you play 3 versus 3. I mean, I felt pretty confident that I can do that. I was one of the best playing that. Basketball, also pretty simple on one hoop and 3 versus 3 again. Yeah, just a sweet little street game. I also see myself passing that test. However, those ball game tests are at the very end, so I don't think that I'll get there. I think I will fail much earlier than that. Also, side note, I start to feel my knees, so I'm not a good sports student. A little bit of basketball and I start to feel my knees. Yeah, not ideal, but whatever. It's so nice doing sports again. I mean, the teachers are a little pissed about all the security measures. Having to disinfect everything, doing that way. At least one of them was pretty pissed, which I find quite funny. But I'm so glad that I can do sports again. I just haven't done sports in ever. Next up, parkour, or whatever you call that. Never done that before. Technique doesn't seem to be so difficult, like getting that leg up. But I never managed the full size with the right steps. I always get slow. But I'm confident that I could manage. I'm always jumping too high. Why do I know that? Because I never even hit a thing. And in the last run it was quite good because I jumped quite far away from the obstacle and then I can jump forward and not upward. That was much better. With that run I can leave it for today and we'll come back next time. Second part of Leichtathletik, high jumping. What I learned is the right leg is my jumping leg. I tried the other side and that felt weird. I jumped with the right leg, even though I'm right-handed, so my left should be my jumping leg. It's not. I do manage the 135 which is the minimum that you need to get points, even with bad technique. If we go higher than that, then my butt usually hits the thing because I'm not stretching back enough. But it's really interesting. This is really nice to try out different sports, because I never did that either. Alright, that was Geräteturnen. I got myself some nice little red spots. Good that this was not the first session that would have gotten me discouraged as fuck. Man, no chance for any of the things. Well, the jump maybe, but not the flip, not the barren, and not the wreck. Definitely not. Holy shit, I just hurt myself. That's day 1 done. I'm feeling quite exhausted, not like physically, but more mentally drained. Also, I got a little bit of red spots on my upper arms from the last session, and I'm so happy that the last session was not in the beginning, because that was the one where I'm like, I don't see myself managing that at all, like at all. With the other ones I'm like, yeah, I've trained that, but here I'm like, basically Geräteturnen, the thing inside with different working stations where you do. I don't have any English vocabulary on that stuff, I'm so sorry. Basically there are 4 stations with like 3 exercises each. So there's like on the ground where you have to do a handstand and then roll over, and then, you know, that circly thingy, and then also a flip. I didn't even manage the preparational exercise for that, so... But yeah, maybe with adrenaline and some shitty technique I could manage that. Then there's one where you jump onto something or where you jump over something. That I think is the easiest, because you just jump forward and stuff like that. I did trampoline jumping, so I got a little bit in that direction. That's okay. But the other 2, with like the barren and the wreck, the one where you have that one thing to hold on to and turn up and thing, and the other one where you have the 2 things and then you are between them and you do stuff. Those 2, whew, man, that's gonna be tough. We only had 1.5 hours and it was like 4 stations, so basically not enough time to do anything really. I was on the wreck for like 5 times and I did not manage anything, like not even 1 out of 3, not even like absolutely no chance to do anything, so that was discouraging AF. On the barren I made good progress from the beginning, not being able to do anything, to finding understanding of when I need to move to get up. So the getting up already almost works, except that it hurts my stilt, but whatever, that's fine. I can hurt myself during the exam, don't worry. So I get up, but then I can't get into that position where I stand like almost a handstand but on the shoulders, a shoulder stand on there. I don't know how I get there. So yeah, I'm making good progress. I hope that we have more of those sessions, like more Geräteturnen. I need the equipment to practice that. I can't even practice that by myself. If there are like 3 more, then I see myself managing it. With 2 more, it could be tough. If there's only 1 more, then no chance, no chance. On the rec, there's one exercise that you can compensate with strength, but also just a little bit. You still need to get up and then over. And I can't, I don't know. Anyhow, it was still a nice day with a lot of sports. I love doing sports again. Overall, good experience. And tomorrow we continue. See you tomorrow. Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of the preparational classes. Must admit, I'm not particularly motivated today. I feel basically my entire body, but that's not the problem. With a little bit of warm-up, that should, you know, feel fine again. I'm more worried about, you know, the weather being like super rainy all day. I mean, I don't even have a waterproof jacket. I'm just gonna be like wet throughout. My shoes are also not ideal. Yeah, I'm gonna be wet AF. I'm gonna be so wet. I mean, it's not cold, it's just wet. That's the one that I'm a little afraid of. 5 meters, no legs. Don't think I'll manage. And then don't think I'll manage in a good time. But I don't think I'll manage anyway. Yeah, as expected, no chance. I managed maybe 1 meter if I am very short, and then I have to give up. Maybe with adrenaline at the exam, but I don't think I'll manage 5 Also, you start from seated and your legs are not supposed to touch the mat afterwards anymore, and that's tough. So the only thing I managed is to ruin my hands. Ouch. There are 3 disciplines in the fundamentals test: the ropes, a sprint, and a stamina run. I guess I can manage a sprint, and you only need to pass 2 of the 3, but you need to get a certain amount of points on them combined. So, and I don't think that I'll manage the stamina run either. We'll see. We'll figure that out now. Sprint is 20 meters with a flying start of 20 meters before. And man, I mean, I thought that was my strongest discipline, and it is on the fundamentals. First easy run, I ran 2:52 or something. Then when I went full speed, I ran 2:38, and then my second run 2:44, and the average that I need to get is 2:30 something, 35 or so. So not even on a best run did I reach the average that I need if I were as good in all 3 disciplines, which I'm not. So that looks like I'm gonna fail at the first test. I'm gonna fail the fundamentals. Maybe at the exam I'm gonna be a little better, but questionable if that's gonna be enough. Got to do another run, 2:50. But he complimented my technique. The technique is very good, just that I made 2 big steps. But this time I actually concentrated on knees up, hands width. So I concentrated on technique, but then I just made 2 big steps. Yeah, has potential, but damn. Now, since the outdoor sessions are cancelled today due to bad weather, I now have a break of over 3 hours, because that's the one session that is cancelled, plus lunch break, plus the fact that we would have first a break before we do swimming, which means I'm probably gonna have lunch somewhere or go home, because I'm home in 20 minutes. That would even make sense to cycle home now and come back for swimming, because there's no point in staying here, because I have no space to stay here, because they can't have us in small rooms. And I don't want to stay outside, so I might as well go home again. With the right equipment, it's nice to cycle in the rain. I mean, I don't mind cycling in the rain. And this necky from the Augärtners, this double-sided, thick necky that protects my face so well, and my throat, I love it. Now I'm just missing the, waterproof shoes and jacket. But whatever, I survived. This was only round 1 out of 2 of going to the Schmelz today. Man, I'm already so exhausted. Even going on the bike, I'm like... And that's only day 2. Next discipline, swimming. So I gotta do 100 meters on time, and then 25 just showing technique with the other one. So crawling, I would say 25 and 100. But it is with a jump start. So you start with a jump and then 4 times the length of this thing. We'll see. First time measuring time today. That's nice. It's so nice swimming in such a... I don't know, I enjoy swimming lately. I have to do it in 250, right? 4 lengths. I managed 252, so 2 seconds. But at the exam I think I'll manage those 2 seconds. However, my main problem is that when jumping in I lose those. That shouldn't happen. Also the crawling 1 length, no problem whatsoever. I couldn't even do 2. Then it gets too much. If I then try to continue, then I lose it. So this would be my action plan. If I would get to actually do the swimming exam, that is, provided I can pass the previous exams, then I would get myself some good swimming goggles with 2 bands that hold better to the head, because the ones I borrowed from Gary are just too loose. And I would buy myself a proper pair of tight swimming pants, because those loose ones just have unnecessary resistance, so that way I could get those 2 seconds that I still need. So swimming shouldn't be the problem. After swimming I actually feel much better in my body than before, because swimming warms up and it's really nice. I feel much more mobile than before. And so great, it's not raining anymore! Woo! And the weather the rest of the week should be better as well, so woo! I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Good morning, welcome to day 3. The weather is a lot better today. Less rain, less wind, more sun. So I'm really looking forward to doing some sports again. However, I feel my muscles being sore, especially in the shoulders and in the calves from sprinting yesterday. So I really need to warm up properly before we play football and handball in the first session. Oh man, football really is not my sport. There's a reason why I didn't do it in the past 10 years. I was the worst, like by a margin compared to everyone in this group. Like, no control of the ball, couldn't pass properly, didn't see rooms that are open. So I can see how I would fail the football test. But from the 4 ball sports, only 3 are actually in the exam, and from those 3 only 2 I need to pass. So that's possible. I can just skip football and say no, I don't want to do it, or I still try but then only at the exam. There's no real point in practicing. I just hurt my ankle. That's the main reason why I stopped playing football. It's just not good for my ankle, and I feel it now. So yeah, and then I also wasn't particularly motivated for handball. Handball, also not my sport. The way we play it here is okay, like passing and throwing, that's okay. But the full-on handball game with full body contact, definitely nothing for me. So those 2 sports are definitely not why I'm doing this. Pushing the ball, which is what is next, is probably also not what I'm doing this for, but hey, I've never tried this, so I wanna see how bad I am at that. Probably pretty bad. Alright, I found another discipline that I suck in, and that is pushing balls. However, it's less depressing than football, because football I don't wanna do. This I wanna, but I just suck, because also technique. The others were at like 8, 9, 10 meters. Me, 6, 6.5. From the 3 disciplines in Leichtathletik, only 2 are at the exam. I hope that the obstacle run is one of them, because I'm good at that. I hope that Kugelstoßen is not one of them, and the 3rd one would be the high jump. So we will see, we will see. It is possible, definitely. If I'm unlucky, I'll have to do Kugelstoßen and Hochsprung. We're doing obstacle run with a start machine, which is actually quite helpful because you can count the steps before the first obstacle. So I do 7 steps and then the jump, which means I have to have the left leg behind because I want to jump on the right and then get the left one up, because it's much easier for me to get left up and right over. This is just more natural. First time I failed because I didn't do the right steps, so I was like 12 something. Then I did a run at 11:50, but I'm still jumping too high. The average is 11:20. This time I'm gonna do a run where I jump into the thing and I try to knock it over then. Let's see if that works. $10.57. That's good, that's good. I can live with that. The important thing for me really is to, in my head, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. And then I can manage. You see those blue spots? Now we're gonna go and make them even bluer. Broken hand 5. Man, I'm making progress. in all of the disciplines, but I'm still so far from managing it. Like, I would need a good 2 or 3 more weeks to actually do the things that we're supposed to do. This is definitely the hardest discipline because here I fail everything. I think one of the 4 sub-disciplines I can fail, but I'm not sure. But even if I manage 0 of the 4, so well, maybe 1, maybe the jump over something I could manage. Anyway, you know what's fun? Having to disinfect your hands if they're like open, like injured. Rubbing alcohol into your wounds. So nice. Leaving 10 minutes early because my hand hurt and I'm discouraged. So it's not that we don't have enough time, it's that we don't have enough sessions. Good morning and welcome to day 4. I think I had a little bit too much to eat for breakfast, considering that the first thing we'll do is a stamina run. I think 2 kilometers, not even sure, but a lot of those rounds. Too bad that cycling is not part of the exam, because cycling needs different muscles than running. And I'm definitely a cyclist, not a runner. But whatever, let's try this anyway. The weather is great again today. And today we only have really cool things. But we'll get to that. First, let's run. 3:25 for 2 laps. I need to run 6. 1:30 I think would be the average. So no way I can manage the basics. No way. Impossible for me. I would have needed to train a lot more. Not even sure if I could hold that tempo that I was running right now. I tried to take it slow and I could still run, but another 2 times that. I feel that in my knees and also calves, but that's muscle, but here knees hurt. I'm not made for sports studies. I'm doing the preparation for fun. And it's nice figuring it out. Again, I was one of the slowest. If not the slowest, because the one slower than me was injured. Ropes again. Here's the thing. I managed to do the start from seated to lift me up, and I managed from standing to pull me up 2 meters with but not more than that. But I can't combine the two. As soon as I started, my legs then kind of have to touch the floor again because I don't have any strength anymore, and your legs are not supposed to touch the mat after you lifted yourself up initially. So I'm not gonna manage this. Like, I'm not. But there's no reason to feel bad about it or be like depressed about it, because for one, I'm not even sure I want to study sports anyway. I mean, my passion is more in music than it is in sports. I just also like sports, and I would say I'm a sportive person, but you know, not sportive enough to be on the top whatever percent and to study it. And even if I wanted to really study it, then there's still no reason to feel bad right now, because I can just start studying the theoretical parts and then do the exam again in February, and until February do a lot of pull-ups and just train the things that I don't manage, like all of the Gerätetouren and stuff, and then in February I would manage, right? So it's chill, you know. I mean, we don't need to manage it here. We're here to try it out, and we realize that no, we're not strong enough and not fast enough, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm living my life to try stuff out, and I'm glad that I did. So I don't feel bad about it anymore. Not anymore. In the beginning it was depressing, but now it's like, yeah, I'm over the fact that I won't manage, so whatever. Loser. Now we're going to the last discipline that we never had so far because of the rain on Tuesday. And that's a discipline that I heard a lot of people say that they're afraid of, but I'm like, yo, that's the easiest discipline ever. It's rhythm, basically dancing and doing stuff in the rhythm. And come on, I'm a dancer, I like music. What could possibly go wrong? Me not being able to do the rope jumps maybe, but yeah, that should be Should be a fun one. In rhythm there are 3 parts, 2 of which are examined. One is clapping, where you get a 4/4 or a 6/8 beat, 4 measures, and they clap it twice and then you have to repeat it once. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I sometimes don't remember the 4th beat. Oh yeah, by the way, one of the measures is repeated, so either first, second, third, first, third, something like that. 4/4 is definitely easier than 6/8, but also manageable. Sometimes if there are long breaks I messed it up because I didn't remember, but usually this is pretty easy. And you can get a maximum of 5 points per test, and you only need 6 in total from the 2, so easy. Rhythm I would pass, I would say. Oh yeah, the other ones, let's do dance. The second of the 3 is actual dancing to music, basically freestyle. You get a song and you have to dance to it. 2 different songs, different speeds, also different, beats, 4/4 or 6/8. And you just have to move. They just want to see that you can move in the rhythm, that you can do some turns, and that you change the levers, and that you use your arms and your whole body, and it's pretty chill. I'm pretty confident that I would pass that. I don't have any issues with that whatsoever. Again, I don't think I will ever get to that point where I get to do that part of the exam, but this would be easy. And even for somebody who is not as rhythmical as me, it's pretty easy. Like, even the people here who were already scared of this part, they're like, I think that it's manageable. Easy. Oh yeah, and the third category is then rhythm with like a device, so either jumping ropes or whatever. Okay, the devices for the boys are ball or rope. It's picked by a draw, so you have to prepare both of them. It's the hardest part of the 3 because you basically have to have a choreography of 4 times 8 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. You get it. And with the ball you have to do a nice dribbling, and with the rope you have to do jumping. But you can have filler elements. So also manageable. The reason why this is more difficult is because you need to repeat your 4 times 8 beats over and over again until the examiner says it's enough. So basically you have to be able to repeat it exactly what you did before, so you can't improvise as with the dancing. You actually need to remember what you did, and therefore it's best to have a choreography. So that's something you'd have to prepare. But then again, I don't think that I'm gonna do that because, let's be honest, I won't manage that far in the exam. I think rhythm is one of the last things. Rhythm and then ball games, those are the last things. I mean, it's only hard because you can't improvise it, and I love to improvise. But you can prepare this pretty easily, You just have to make up those 4 times 8 beats and then practice that, because that's exactly what you're gonna be doing at the exam. You can practice that beforehand, so it's not that hard. It's just, for me, harder than the other 2 because I'm lazy and I don't want to practice anything. Now let's have a lunch break. And another swimming. I like swimming, I actually enjoy it lately. That's new, but I really like being in the water. We did technique on normal Brustschwimmen. I don't think that the exercises helped me, but I don't know, it's nice being in the water. And that's nice because it's not, you don't need too much force, but it's also nice under the water. I don't know, it just feels nice. I'm gonna fail at the first test. I'm gonna fail the fundamentals. I'll fail at the basic test. I'm gonna fail at the fundamentals. Sad truth, but truth. I have good news. I'm not even gonna fail the fundamentals test because I don't get to do it. See, here's the thing. I would have now registered for the exam, but in order to register for the exam, you would have had to register for the sports studies that I would have had to do until the 15th of August, which I didn't because I was not aware of that. So yeah, that's really the hardest part, catching all of those deadlines. Well, so my next chance would be doing the test in February, but don't think I'm gonna do that because I don't think I actually want to study sports. I mean, sports is nice, right? See, here's the thing. Me not really caring that I can't do that exam now. I mean, I'm still happy. I'm actually more happy than before because I found that quite funny. And now all the pressure is gone. I can't even fail anymore because I already failed on another level. So yeah, that has been the preparation week for me. Maybe I'll still come here tomorrow and next week just to train a bit, but I'm already a little broken. I don't even feel it in the legs that much, but okay, I was just swimming, so ask me again tomorrow morning. But yeah, it's nice that they do that even in Corona times. Let's still do a quick resume about all the disciplines. Since this video is not long enough yet, let's have a look on the actual official exam criteria and try and answer the question whether or not I could actually pass the exam. Now, I didn't find an English version of this, so you just have to listen to what I say and trust that that's what's standing there. Basically, there are two main tests, the fundamentals test and then all the other tests. As we already discussed, the fundamentals consist of three things: the sprint, the rope, and the stamina run. There used to be a fourth thing, but according to the website this year, it's different because of Corona probably. Now, in order to pass, you need to pass 2 of the 3 tests and you need to get a total of 115 points. At the sprint, I managed to reach the 239. This was my best result. In the preparation, I do see myself getting up here, possibly here. With a little bit of adrenaline, this is possible. I've never actually run the entire 2.4 kilometers. If I would be able to keep the 130 that I ran for 1 lap, then it would be 9 minutes, so that would be in this area. But more realistically, I'll be around back here somewhere. With the results that I currently got, I wouldn't pass the fundamentals because I didn't even get up on the rope. And if we keep it realistic, with 40 points here and 40 points here, I'm at 80, which means I still need a 35. So I would have to also get up there in like 11.7 seconds. Could be possible, but I think I would be more like somewhere down here, if at all. It would be more realistic to get somewhere here and actually pass the test with those two. Once I would have passed the fundamentals, there would be the next. This is not in the order that it's actually examined in, but as for the rhythm part, there are 3 things. 2 of the 3 are examined and you need 6 points in total. Number 1 is dancing. It says moving freely to music. I don't even want to get into the details of what you're supposed to do here, but basically they judge that you can keep the rhythm and have different figures and in different variations, and it's fluid and you move around. So let's be honest, I think I would get at least 3 out of those. Then the tough part with either the rope or the ball, again, basically just by being in the rhythm, I already have 1 point. Last is the clapping, where if you get 3 to 4 beats correct, and that's usually where I am, I usually remember 3, then you still get the entire 5 points. So, I mean, of course, the beat and the rhythm needs to be also correct, but I don't usually have problems with that. So, this I'm fairly certain I could pass. Coming up next, Leichtathletik, track and field athletics. Track and field athletics. There are once again 3 things. 2 of them are examined. It's shot put, high jump, and hurdle race. You need to get a total of 1050 points. And for each of the things, there is a formula how it's calculated. And I calculated it for my values. I jumped 145, which is 550 points. I short put for a very short 137 points. I wish there was another 3 in there. And my 10.75 seconds give me 633 points. So if I am lucky and the high jump and the hurdles were at the exam, I would pass. As soon as the short put is there, I would fail. I would have to get another 500 points, which is 8 meters 60. This would be... Moving on. Let's assume we're lucky here. At the swimming, you have to swim 100 meters, but it's up to you if you want to do breaststrokes or swim the crawl. And the thing that you don't do like that, you have to demonstrate. Now, I would choose that because I'm definitely better at it. And I'm fairly certain that I could reach the 150 at the exam. So, swimming, I think I would pass. Then, ball games. As already mentioned, only 3 of the 4 are at the exam. You need to be positive at 2 of them. And long story short, I'm pretty sure that I could pass them. Basketball, I'm not 100% certain. Handball could also be problematic. Football, I think they have so high standards for the boys that I would fail that. But volleyball, I'm pretty much certain I would manage because I play a lot of volleyball and this is no problem for me. So if I'm lucky and soccer is not part of it, then I'm pretty safe. And otherwise, well, I mean, I guess I could manage that. Now, last discipline, artistic gymnastics or apparatus gymnastics. Apparatus gymnastics. For the boys, there's a crouch jump, floor exercises, the high bar, and the parallel bar. Only 3 are examined and you need to be positive in 2 of them. You need to get a total of 15 points though, and we can see here how the points. Now, all of that I would fail. Also, most of that I'm not good yet. Can't even do that really. Oh yeah, and that I can also not do, obviously. So if I was lucky and this wasn't at the exam, then I could potentially see myself getting the required 5 points on all of the 3 examined ones, where the basic elements are mostly there. But if the high bar is actually in the exam, and I would completely fail that, let's be honest, I would have to get a nice 7 to 8 on the other 2, which, let's be honest, I would have more than small shortcomings. So yeah, I would have to be lucky 2 times and perform better than I performed ever before. Then I would potentially be able to pass this exam. However, the safer way is to practice some more. Back to me. Welcome to day 5 of the preparation course. Now, we already know that I won't do the exam this semester, but that does mean I can't come here to play some volleyball, basketball, and do some high jumps just for fun. Okay, so volleyball, the level is a bit too low for me. And basketball, it's a bit too high. Or I just don't like the sport that much. Because once it gets competitive, there's a lot of body contact, and I especially dislike that if I get body contact with somebody who's super sweaty. And I was like, ugh. Alright, we all know that I suck at that. But now, high jump. I want to know how high I can jump. I can push the ball for 625. But now we want to see how high I can jump. I think it's 145. Okay, so I consistently managed a 135, which is the minimum. Then I had one try at the 140, managed. One try at the 145, managed. I think I don't get much higher because my butt already always touches the thing. And I don't flop enough, I don't go back enough. Okay, we'll leave it at that. I jumped 150 and hit the thing and fell on it. Ouch, my spine. So yeah, 145, as I said. That's not even average of what I would need, but that's what I think is realistic for me. Also, I'm not gonna do the exam anyway. I'll just do this for fun. But now, since I hurt myself, I stop. That's usually how I do it. I reached a level of exhaustion where I don't really want to do sports anymore, and I did the things that I wanted to do today, so I could just go back home. There's still one more time of Geräteturnen, so the Reck and the Barren, and I'm not particularly motivated to do it. Most important thing when it comes to injury prevention is knowing when to stop. And since I can't really concentrate anymore, I gotta stop. Because Geräteturnen is one of the things where you get injured easily, and if I'm not here mentally, then forget it. There's no point for me to do it right now. That's the next thing. If I were to do the exam, then I would push myself now. Yes, I can do that, and strengthen myself mentally, but I can't be bothered, so just go home. Good morning on this Monday. It's the second to last day of the preparation classes here at the USAT. I'm not particularly motivated, to be honest. I mainly came here because I was awake and I have nothing else to do. I mean, I paid for this course, right? So might as well. So I tried the ropes again, as you can tell by the remains of the white stuff on my pants and shirt. And I actually managed to start seated and get up halfway without, being completely dead afterwards. I mean, I was rested from the weekend and it already works a lot better. So theoretically at the exam, if I was rested, I could manage, because then I just wouldn't stop if I feel pain, I would just keep going. So I can see myself managing to get up. I don't know in which time, but at the exam you always have a bit more strength. Also, this is something that you can train pretty easily. You just need to do pull-ups or put a towel across your pull-up thing and then do that kind of pull-up. So with 2 weeks of training, I can see myself managing that. It's just a matter of training this muscle. Not much technique on it. And also ran once more. I couldn't really get the energy out. But 240 nonetheless, it's okay. Last one of the fundamentals, stamina run, 6 rounds. I ran 2 with a good average of 130, and I think that speed I could hold, and that's approximately average. So if I make up in the sprint what I miss in the ropes, I could actually pass the basis test. And also, maybe I could, if I have the energy at the exam, be even faster here on that track, potentially. If I don't start too fast, because that's gonna haunt me if I start too fast. If I were to make the exam, which I don't, but just theoretically. The clapping in the rhythm is actually a little bit harder than I thought at first. I mean, I shouldn't focus on the counting because then I mess it up. If my brain is in it, then I mess it up. I should just feel the beat, then it works a lot better. But there are 3 different beats, right? Because one is repeated in the 4 measures, in the 4 bars. So yeah, you need to remember 3. I usually remember 2, but if I remember the one that is repeated, I have 3 out of 4, and that already gives most of the points. So yeah, should be fine. That being said, I was still one of the best ones, if not the best one in the group when it came to the clapping. And also when it comes to the dancing, I mean, just improvising, do whatever. That's great. I love it. I love dancing. So rhythm should be easy for me. Would be easy for me. I actually got some good technique tips for the crawl. There's also a resting phase here if you have one arm up and one arm here, and that's when you need to breathe. And I always do like that, and then I can't get to the air. I need to be like that and get to the air. Yeah, just chilling a lot more makes it a lot easier. So they don't really teach you the entire how to from scratch, but they give you good pointers. There's not enough time to teach you how to do that. You need to have a certain level. For just doing the technique thing, I think it's good. I think I would pass that test. Pushing through, then breathing, then going to the same. So yeah, since I never swim crawl. I started learning it like a week ago. So yeah, but it's been good. It's been good training a little bit. Salt and a little bit of water, but it's good. Now let's pack and go. Yeah, but that concludes this week of preparation for something that I can't even do because I didn't register properly. So, register properly. That's step number 1, the hardest part. And then come and do the preparation course at the USI. It's quite nice. They actually prepare you quite well. Of course, with just the preparation course, it won't be enough. You need to be sportive and some things you must have done before. But overall, it's great that such a preparation week exists. If I really wanted to study sports or sports in teachers education, I would now spend the next 4 months in training more the things that I wouldn't manage, like strength, and some the thingies, technical stuff, and also running probably. And then I would do the exam in February, and I guess that I could manage. If I really wanted that, I guess I could manage. But I don't think I wanted enough to actually do that. So with that, I leave you. Make a backup and figure out what it is that you want. Really, like really. I mean, it was really nice being here and doing this preparation course, even if I don't do the exam. I mean, the weather is great. The sports area really nice. Like the grass is pretty good, and also from what you can do here, pretty cool. I would totally study here, but I will not. But if you want to, then definitely take the preparation course for the sports exam, and I wish you the best of luck. And also don't forget to make a backup, and I'll see you at the exam. No, I don't. Just have fun studying. Just have fun. I see you on here, because I'll be doing something else. But you can enjoy this.